There's no doubt what the fans think of Caitlin Clark, just with the amount of votes that she got in the fan voting for the All-Star Game. And then there's what the players thought of Caitlin Clark, naming her the 9th best guard. What did you think of that vote?
I think the player vote is always a lot more complicated than people seem to understand. First of all, not every player votes. It's not a requirement. Sometimes you'll see a lot of teams, maybe entire teams, their players aren't voting on this ballot. And then it's just as biased as a fan vote, right? Like if you see Caitlin Clark leading the fan vote, you're going to vote for your teammate who maybe could get in, or another player you really like or are friends with. I think as much as we talk about All-Star being for the fans and that vote carrying a lot of weight, like players being biased carries a lot of weight as well. I'm sure there are players who want to believe that Caitlin is the 9th best in the league, but I don't think that vote perfectly describes that as like a league whole opinion.
Yeah, I think a reminder for everyone, regardless of sport, that all-star voting probably not always the best metric for determining actual player quality in these popularity contests. But let's go to another interesting area where the Fever have made news. Sophie Cunningham had a lot to say about WNBA expansion, including some of the cities that got mentioned in that. While Sophie in Detroit may be on rocky terms going forward, what's been the reaction you've seen league-wide about the expansion news in the W?
Well, here in Minnesota, we were able to talk to some players, including Sophie. There seems to be kind of muted excitement about it. Certainly, more teams growing the business is a good thing. We've heard them talk about that recently, that they see the growth in the business and they understand it and they want a piece of that pie in the CBA negotiations. But the thing the players have been pushing for, and Sophie talked about this a little bit, Bridget Carlton with the Lynx talked about this, is roster expansion before team expansion. Because right now, take the Fever, Aria McDonald was on a hardship contract a couple of weeks ago. That was a temporary solution. Now, obviously, they were able to bring her in long term, but players just want longer benches for health and safety, and they see that as the answer versus kind of quickly expanding to all these different places.